Ever imagine, like scales built right into the road? That's weigh in motion. Or whim, weighing trucks as they drive by. It's kind of wild. And that's exactly what we're diving into today. Traffic management and how whim makes it all happen.
They're essential for keeping our roads safe and efficient. Overloaded trucks, they can really damage roads and bridges. WIM lets us track that weight in real time, no traffic jams.
It's mind-blowing, happening right under our wheels. We're focusing on Enviko today. They're really pushing whim tech using some really cool sensor technology.
Enviko systems are impressive. They combine quartz sensors, piezoelectric sensors, and even LiDAR to create this comprehensive solution.
Okay, before we get into the nitty-gritty of those sensors, what is a whim system? For those who haven't encountered this before, the basics, how does it all work?
Imagine weighing every truck on a busy highway and making them stop. Chaos. WIM systems get rid of that need. Sensors in the road measure weight as they drive over, getting data like axle weight, speed, even truck dimensions, all while it's moving at full speed.
Wow, that's incredible. Like a high-tech speed trap, but for weight. So Enviko takes all this data, and then what?
Their system goes beyond weight. It's got license plate recognition, LPR, and vehicle profiling, creating a full picture of each vehicle.
So more than just catching overloaded trucks, they're identifying each one and maybe even figuring out its cargo.
Exactly. It all goes to a central system that authorities can monitor, seeing traffic patterns and safety risks.
A control tower for trucks. This is sci-fi stuff, but happening now. Let's talk sensors, especially quartz sensors. How do those work?
Piezoelectric effect. When a quartz crystal gets squeezed, it makes a tiny electrical charge. A truck's weight on the sensor causes that squeeze, and boom, we get a weight reading.
So like stepping on a quartz crystal makes it shout, hey, something's heavy,
Yeah,
and tells us the truck's weight.
perfect analogy. Quartz sensors are great for WIM, durable, accurate, and long-lasting. They handle millions of passes, and since they're embedded in the road, drivers don't even see them.
Out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah.
You mentioned piezoelectric sensors too. Are they similar to the quartz ones? Same piezoelectric effect?
Yep, also piezoelectricity, but using PVDF film. Super sensitive to pressure changes, perfect for vehicle weight. Two main classes of these traffic sensors.
I'm curious, what's different between them?
Class 1, super accurate, like plus or minus 7% variation, great for dynamic weighing, needing precise weight distribution. Class 2, more budget-friendly for counting vehicles and classifying them car versus truck and so on.
Class 1 for precision, Class 2 for general traffic monitoring. Makes sense. And they're super thin, almost film-like. How do they install something so delicate?
In a small groove in the road, minimizing disruption to traffic. And don't be fooled by the thinness, they're tough. Like the CET83 Lemon sensor, built to handle millions of axle passes, super reliable for long-term monitoring.
Millions. Mind-blowing. Durability seems key, considering they're constantly driven over. Now, for the tech that's everywhere, LiDAR, lasers, right? How does that fit into WIM?
LiDAR is like radar on steroids, using light instead of radio waves to create a 3D image of the vehicle. Like shining a flashlight in a dark room, you see the shape based on how the light bounces back. LiDAR is doing that, but with lasers, and much more precisely. Measuring the time it takes for the light to return, it creates a point cloud, a 3D map of the vehicle.
A super-powered 3D scanner, getting the truck's exact dimensions as it drives by. That's wild.
It is, and really helpful for those oversized vehicles. It can instantly tell if a truck's too tall for a bridge or too wide for a lane, preventing accidents and damage. Enviko uses the CET1230HS LiDAR model for this.
Okay, seeing how these sensor technologies work together. Quartz for weight, piezoelectric for detailed analysis and classification, and LiDAR for vehicle dimensions and spotting oversized issues. It's like a team of detectives, each with their own skill, working together to solve a case.
Great analogy. It highlights Enviko's approach, combining these different technologies to create a WIM system that gives transportation authorities tons of data.
All this data from high-tech sensors, but how is it processed and analyzed? It's got to be a ton of information coming in constantly.
That's where the data logger comes in, the brains of the operation. Powerful hardware that collects and processes all the info from the different sensors in real time. It can instantly alert authorities if there's a problem like an overloaded truck or a size violation.
This is blowing my mind. Technology doing all this without us knowing. So we've got sensors in the road, data logger, collecting info. What next? How do the authorities actually use it? Are there people just watching trucks go die all day?
Great question. And that leads us into the next part of our deep dive. We've covered the basics of WIM, so now let's see how this data makes our roads safer, efficient, and even more sustainable. Welcome back. It's really fascinating how these systems, working silently under our tires, can have such a big impact on our transportation networks.
Right. It's like this hidden world of technology we don't even think about. We
Yeah.
talked about those sensors and the data, but what about the so what? How does this help drivers, businesses, everyone who uses the roads?
It's turning data into action. One big win is protecting our infrastructure. Overloaded trucks, they put so much stress on roads and bridges, leading to potholes, cracks, and even, in the worst cases, failures.
Yeah, I've hit my share of potholes.
We all have. But WIM systems are like an early warning system, finding those overloaded trucks right away so authorities can step in, maybe preventing those costly repairs and keeping our roads and bridges safe for much longer.
Like a guardian angel for infrastructure.
Exactly. And it's not just about concrete and steel, it's about driver safety too. Overloaded trucks are way harder to control, especially at high speeds. Longer braking distances, more prone to rollovers. Keeping them off the road makes it safer for everyone.
That peace of mind is priceless,
Mhm.
especially sharing the road with those huge trucks. But thinking about efficiency too, don't traditional way stations cause massive backups?
Absolutely. Those way stations force trucks to slow down or even stop completely, disrupting the flow of goods, wasting time and fuel. With WIM, trucks keep moving while being monitored, win-win. Trucking companies save time and money, we reduce fuel consumption and emissions, and the whole supply chain runs smoother.
Now that's progress. I read that Enviko takes this efficiency further with their data analysis, right? It's not just flagging individual trucks, it's about the bigger picture.
You got it. Their software sees patterns and trends in all that traffic data. That's gold for transportation authorities, helping them optimize traffic flow, schedule road maintenance better, even make decisions about future infrastructure investments.
It's like a crystal ball for traffic management. Safer roads, longer-lasting bridges, less congestion, data-driven insights for the future, quite the list of benefits.
We're just getting started. WIM systems are so versatile. They can be used in tunnels to watch traffic flow, in wheat-restricted areas to control access, even to collect data for research and development of new transportation technologies.
Amazing how this tech, from simply weighing trucks in motion, has become such a sophisticated tool for managing our entire transportation network.
It really is. As sensor technology keeps getting better, we'll see even more uses for WIM in the years to come. Who knows what's next?
Excited to see what they come up with. But before we get too futuristic, any real-world examples of how Envico's system is being used today? Any favorite case studies showing the impact?
Oh, absolutely. One that stands out is their work on the PKM Expressway in Pakistan. Massive project. They supplied equipment and solutions for 23 entrance and exit toll stations and 4 wind stations along the expressway.
Wow, that's huge. What does their WIM tech do and all that?
Key to making the expressway safer and more efficient. Managing traffic flow, keeping things safe by monitoring vehicle weights, even helping run a vehicle weight charging system.
It's not just enforcement, it's helping fund and manage this crucial infrastructure project. Impressive. Any other projects, maybe closer to home?
Yep. In Jiangsu City, China, they've got this nonstop detection system, all about high-tech overload management and off-site wheat enforcement, keeping those roads safe and flowing.
From highways to toll booths, making a difference worldwide. Are they focusing only on highways? Or are there other areas where this tech is being used?
They're branching out. Enviko has implemented source weight detection systems at logistics parks, mines, and storage centers, like having a high-tech weigh station right at your doorstep.
I can see that being super useful for businesses.
Right. Streamlines operations, ensures fair billing. For example, a mining company can track exactly how much material is moving in and out of their site.
A game changer for efficiency and accountability.
And let's not forget bridge protection. Enviko developed special systems combining WIM data with vehicle profiling to protect those vulnerable bridges from overloaded trucks, like having a bodyguard for those critical pieces of infrastructure.
So instead of waiting for damage, they can identify those risky trucks in advance and send them on different routes. Fantastic.
It is. Their system protects drivers and infrastructure, all while minimizing disruptions to traffic.
Amazing how this tech, starting with the simple idea of weighing trucks in motion, has evolved into such a versatile tool for modern transportation.
It's more than just the technology, it's the data and insights it provides. Envico's systems are helping authorities, businesses, and researchers make better decisions. That means safer, more efficient, and ultimately more sustainable transportation networks for all of us.
I love that. It's not just the weight, it's the knowledge we get from the weight data. We're understanding how our transportation systems work, and that gives us the power to improve them.
Exactly. As we gather more data and improve our analysis, who knows what other benefits and applications we'll discover? The future of WIM tech is wide open.
It's an exciting time to be following this technology. We've covered a lot, from the details of those sensors to the worldwide impacts of this tech.
It's been a fascinating exploration.
It really has. I think we've given our listeners a lot to think about. What's the one big takeaway you want them to remember from this deep dive?
The biggest takeaway is that WIM technology is more than just weighing trucks. It's creating a safer, more efficient, and more sustainable future for transportation. It's changing how we think about roads, infrastructure, even the flow of goods and services globally.
That's a great point. It's not just about enforcement, it's about understanding and optimizing our entire transportation ecosystem. And it's happening now, all around us. Next time you're on the highway, remember those unseen forces working beneath your tires, gathering data, making our roads safer, and shaping the future of transportation. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. Talking about these WIM systems and all the data they collect, it makes me think about the potential downsides, too.
Yeah, good point. We've been focusing on the good stuff, the benefits of all this info, but any powerful technology, well, you got to use it responsibly.
Exactly. We need to make sure it's being used ethically. So what should we be thinking about as WIM systems become more and more common?
Several things come to mind. First, accuracy and reliability. If a WIM system messes up, gives a wrong reading, an innocent driver could get penalized, or even worse, a dangerous overloaded truck could slip through.
So it's not just having the tech, it's making sure it's working right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's why testing and calibration are so important. Just like any measurement tool, WIM systems need regular checks to make sure they're accurate.
Makes sense. We wouldn't want a broken scale at the grocery store, so why use a faulty system for something as important as weighing trucks?
Right. And then there's data security. These systems collect sensitive stuff, license plates, weights, travel patterns. We got to protect that data.
Oh, I hadn't even thought about that, but you're right. Like any personal data, it needs to be handled responsibly.
Definitely. Strong cybersecurity is key to prevent data breaches and protect everyone's privacy.
Sounds like a lot to consider as this technology keeps advancing. We have to balance the benefits of WIM systems with the responsibility to use them wisely.
Couldn't agree more. It's a conversation that needs to involve everyone. The people making policies, the people developing the tech, and the public. We all have a part to play.
Well said. This deep dive has been eye-opening. I started thinking about invisible scales, and now I see this whole world of possibilities and challenges.
It's been great exploring WIM systems with you. From those tiny sensors to the mountains of data, this tech is changing transportation as we know it.
It really is amazing how something so simple can have such a huge impact. And this is just the start. Who knows what's next for transportation tech?
That's the exciting part, right? Always evolving, pushing boundaries, making us rethink what's possible. It's a great time to be witnessing this firsthand.
Absolutely. So next time you're driving and you feel a little bump, it might just be a WIM system, quietly gathering data, making our roads safer, and building a smarter transportation network for everyone. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive into the world of weigh and motion technology. Until next time, stay curious.